Hi, my name is Pat, and I want to talk to you about my awakening, how it started, how it felt when it was going on, and the things that happened along this journey of what feels like approximately, I don't know, 15 years. So, in the beginning, when I was around 32 or 33, I awoke to knowing how to heal people. What did this mean? Well, I honestly didn't even know. Like, I was like, how do I just awaken to knowing how to do this? And at that time, I was just fresh into my career of being a gas technician. So I was really focusing on that. Um, but little things that would just like started happening, like in my work vehicle, stuff that I had on the seat would go missing. And I know for a fact nobody was in my truck. Then a couple years later, when I quit, it would show up on a bucket in the back of my van. What was the point of that? It was a learning lesson that I needed to learn. See, the example I just gave you was I found a guy's knife, a colleague's knife, left on the job site. I told him that I found his knife and that I would bring it back to him. When I went to go and get said knife, it was missing. Therefore, he accused me of stealing it. I was like, why would I steal your knife, tell you I found your knife, and return your knife? He's like, don't worry about it, just keep it. Because I eventually found it. I was like, hey man, I found it. It was on this bucket back here. I go into the back of my truck all the time. Well, that knife wasn't there. So, I had like a trickster constantly playing tricks on me. And so that was the beginning of my awakening. And yes, a lot of good things did happen in my life. Like I moved up quickly in my career. Was that due to the awakening? I'm not sure. I worked hard. I did long hours. I did whatever I could to, make my dreams come true when you're first starting out. But constantly having this in my mind that I knew how to heal people was weird. Like I had a friend reach out to me telling me his one friend was like having issues with, I think, restless leg syndrome. And I said, hey man, just ask him if I can work on him. And so I did. I don't know if he felt better. Nobody ever got back to me, but I definitely tried to manipulate the energy within his world that he was experiencing. But I never knew how to do that before. I was also constantly looking into how to open my third eye. That stemmed 5 years before that, when I was around 28. Not when I was 32, 33, but constantly, reading books, trying to open my third eye. At that time, all I knew was about the third eye. I didn't really know about all the other chakras. I learned that much later down the line. But to do what I had to do to get through my career and then eventually finding a job that I really, really loved, that would have been in 2020. But in 2019, this is when my awakening really, really took off in ways that I will explain here. But this will be over multiple videos because this has been a very, I would like to say it's a pretty short journey, but I would, like, what is it, like 5 years, 6 years in total with all the profound things that have happened in my life. But 2019, I was invited to I called it Hippie Fest, but it was a spiritual gathering of like-minded individuals looking to basically improve their lives. But that's not like, it was basically ascension. It was ascension training you how to, about the chakras, about your bodysuit, about the aura, about like different traditions. And I stuck with this for all of it because I felt the pull to be there. And every time I went, I had profound experiences. So in 2019, I went to this thing. And the reason why I called it Hippie Fest is because in the email, what it said was bring a yoga mat, a pillow, and a blanket. I didn't know what to do with that information other than like I brought all the stuff required. And I was like, what are we going to be doing here? Sleeping, yoga? Like what's going on? Once I got there, like everybody talks about the chosen ones, never being able to fit in. Well, I never fit in anywhere. I tried my hardest. I tried to blend in. I tried to be cool. I tried to be this. It just didn't happen. I couldn't do it. I tried. I was good at sports. Was I popular? No. No. Athletic people, they seem to always have, the people, unless they're like a football player, basketball. I was good at basketball. I was good at baseball too. Was I popular? No. People always just shook their head at me, wondering, why is this guy so good? It's because I wasn't meant to be popular. That's why. I was meant to be my own person. I was meant to do things differently, just like I'm doing right now. Doing it differently. Not to stand out, not to be better. Not even to be recognized. But I've always been an out-of-the-box thinker. I don't think like regular people. I think of tomorrow. I don't think of today. I think that you need to plan for the future because today's already here and we can't predict what the future holds. So that's where I'm at. So 2019 at the Hippie Fest, I went to this thing and I just felt like I belonged for the first time ever. I went completely open-minded, not expecting anything, just there to see what it is that I'm doing there. And I learned a few things. We did a meditation called the Ananda Mandala, or Ananda Mandala. This is a group meditation. Everybody holds hands, receiving hand, giving hand. And it's a breath work through your nose primarily with forceful breathing. The energy that I experienced through this circle meditation was profound. I had never experienced anything before like that in my life. To the point that once this meditation was done, it had lifted so much stuff from me. Like all the weight that was ever on my shoulders before I got there was gone. I was smiling from ear to ear for a good half an hour. Up against a wall, just chilling. I was like amazed. But the people were just so warm, welcoming. Glad to see you there. Happy to have you there. And happy to help you any way they can. These were my people. And this is why I loved going. To just be around the energy was phenomenal. This was a 2-day event. I did that meditation again the following day. And one of the ladies asked me, she's like, come sit beside me. She's like, I'm going to blow your mind. And I was like, okay. So I sat beside her. And I did the breath work. And the energy again came through me like I honestly felt like my head was going to explode. There was so much energy flowing through me to the point that I got like a massive headache. And me, being a newbie, I don't know this, which I'm about to tell you, but they tell me that I could have asked the energy to slow down, to calm down, to relax a little. I had no idea. But if you have, and so I was my teacher was a shaman, and she's also a shaman in the Daguerre tradition. And so I stuck by her through it all to finally graduate her course and be the best version I possibly can be. But that's the ending story, and we're at the beginning. So I'm going to end it here for today. But I do encourage you, if you are a starseed, or you're just getting into spirituality and you're awakening, or you've been awakening for a while but don't really understand what the heck is going on, if you can find a shaman to work underneath, do it. It does cost money. Spirituality is the most expensive investment I've ever been involved in. Just note that. Because every time there's a course, you got to pay. And anything you want to join, even after graduation, you still have to pay. It's never been about the money for me. It's not about the money. It's about bringing awareness. And even in my healing, it's not about the money. If I could do it for free, I would. But as of right now, the money is so I can live. But once there's enough money in my bank account where I don't got to worry about that, it will be free. It'll be by donation, to be perfectly honest. Pay me for what you think I'm worth. And that's it. So that's the beginning of my journey. And I'll post another video again tomorrow. And we'll get into the nitty-gritty. Have yourself a great day. Thanks for listening.